Loren Brovarnik from 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, has been keeping her Instagram followers updated on her family vacation in Israel. She had dreams of relocating to Israel with Alexei Brovarnik and their 3 children, Shai, Asher, and Ariel. However, due to global issues and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, they had to put their plans on hold and remain in the United States. Recently, Loren was finally able to visit Israel with her family for the first time in a few years. Loren excitedly shared about their trip on Instagram on the 4th of July, hinting at a possible extension of their stay. Loren has continued to share updates from the trip, expressing her joy at being in the country and reassuring fans and critics that she is enjoying herself. In a recent Instagram story, Loren shared a picture of herself with her daughter, Ariel Brovarnik, captioned with, "And a successful day too in our favorite place." A fan commented that Israel suits her well. Loren also shared a close-up selfie without makeup, flaunting her radiant skin and wide smile, mentioning that the jet lag is worth the joyful moments she is experiencing in her home, Israel. What Loren's happy life updates from Israel mean? Loren may not want to return to the U.S. Loren's positive updates from Israel show that she is truly happy to be there with her family. Perhaps this vacation and meeting her relatives in Israel will give Loren the confidence to eventually move there permanently. Loren and Alexei have expressed their desire to see themselves and their children living in Israel. While they haven't yet finalized a plan, their current trip may help them make that decision. The 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9 cast members' happiness in Israel may motivate her to find a way to establish a life there. Loren has hinted several times that she wants to stay in Israel for an extended period. Previously, she mentioned she had plans to extend her trip and spend an additional week in the country. The fact that Loren enjoys living in Israel, as well as Alexei having family members there, are significant reasons why they feel compelled to establish a new life in the Middle East. Moving away from the United States and buying a new home in Israel will enable Loren and Alexei to educate their kids about their heritage and customs. It's heartwarming to see Loren enjoying her time in Israel. Hopefully, she has considered her family's safety and is spending time in a location away from conflict zones. While building a new life in Israel with her husband and kids would be ideal, it would also make sense for her to consider the opportunities available to her and her 3 children in the United States. Hopefully, the 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After cast member will shed more light on her moving plans, as that's what most of her fans want to know. The arid air, usually so foreign to her Floridian lungs, felt like a homecoming breath to Loren. Her eyes, usually scanning for rogue pool toys or misplaced sippy cups, now drank in the ancient stone and sun-baked earth of Israel. It wasn't just a vacation. It was a pilgrimage, a reconnaissance mission for a dream that had been simmering for years, a dream she'd almost given up on. "Mama, look." Shai, her eldest, tugged at her hand, pointing to a stray cat weaving through the legs of tables at an outdoor cafe. His voice, usually a cacophony of American inflections, seemed to soften, to blend with the melodic Hebrew surrounding them. Loren smiled, a genuine, unforced smile that reached her eyes. "It's a Jerusalem cat, sweetie," she murmured, pulling him closer. They're very independent. Just 2 days into their trip, and the rhythm of Israel had already begun to hum in their bones. Jet lag, a cruel mistress, had tried to claim her, but Loren had defied it, fueled by an almost desperate joy. She'd snapped a quick, no-makeup selfie, her skin radiant despite the transatlantic journey, her smile wide and unburdened. And at a successful day too in our favorite place, she captioned a picture of herself and little Ariel, her youngest, nestled in her arms, looking out at a vibrant marketplace. The comments had flooded in. "Israel suits you well, Loren," one fan had written, and she'd felt a surge of validation. This wasn't just a place Alexei's family lived. It was a place that resonated deep within her, a pull she couldn't quite articulate to her American friends back home. For years, the idea of moving here, of raising Shai, Asher, And Ariel, amidst this rich history and culture, had been a whispered hope between her and Alexei. But then the world had seemed to conspire against them. Global issues, the ever-present shadow of conflict, had forced them to shelve their plans, to continue their lives in the familiar sprawl of the United States. Now, though, as she watched Asher, usually glued to his tablet, chase a pigeon across a sun-drenched plaza, and heard Ariel's delighted gurgle as Alexei hoisted her onto his shoulders, a potent feeling bloomed in her chest. This was it. This was where they belonged. The days unfolded like a series of vibrant postcards. They visited the Western Wall, and Loren found herself unexpectedly moved, a lump forming in her throat as she watched people pray, their foreheads pressed against the ancient stones. She explained to the children, in simple terms, the significance of the place, trying to instill in them a sense of awe and connection. Alexei's family, a warm embrace of laughter and stories, welcomed them with open arms. Dinners were boisterous affairs, overflowing with food and spirited conversations in a mix of Hebrew and English. Loren, usually meticulous about her children's bedtimes, found herself letting them stay up later, caught up in the intoxicating energy of it all. One evening, after the children were finally asleep in their borrowed beds, Loren and Alexei sat on the small balcony of their rental apartment, the sounds of the city drifting up to them. The air was cool, a welcome respite from the day's heat. "Are you happy?" Alexei asked, his voice soft, almost hesitant. Loren turned to him, her eyes reflecting the twinkling city lights. "More than happy, Alex. I feel full, like a missing piece has clicked into place." He nodded, a thoughtful expression on his face. "It's different here, isn't it? For the kids. Completely different," she agreed. "They're not just learning about their heritage from books or stories. They're living it. They're breathing it." She paused, then took a breath. "I don't want to go back, Alex." The words hung in the air, a declaration, a challenge. Alexei took her hand, his thumb tracing patterns on her skin. "I know," he said simply. "I feel it too. But we have to be practical, Loren. The kids, our careers." "I know," she interrupted, a touch of frustration in her voice. "But isn't their well-being, their connection to who they are, the most important thing? We can figure out the rest. We always do." The conversation continued late into the night, a delicate dance between dreams and logistics. They talked about schools, about finding work, about the sheer upheaval of moving across the world. Loren, usually so cautious, felt an uncharacteristic boldness. This trip, this feeling, had solidified something within her. The temporary extension she hinted at on Instagram felt less like an if and more like a when. She wanted to spend another week, then another, pushing the boundaries of their vacation, testing the waters of their potential new life. The 4th of July came and went, a strange juxtaposition of American independence celebrated in a land with its own complex history. Loren had posted a picture of the children, dressed in red, white, and blue, but her caption had been subtly different, her focus less on American patriotism and more on the joy of their current location. "Soaking up every moment in our favorite place," she'd written, a deliberate choice of words. The days blurred into weeks. Loren found herself falling into a comfortable routine. Mornings were for exploring, afternoons for quiet time and connecting with Alexei's family, evenings for long walks and soaking in the vibrant atmosphere. She discovered a new sense of peace here, a quiet contentment that had been elusive in the constant hustle and bustle of their lives in the U.S. The news of conflicts, which had once felt so immediate and threatening, now seemed more distant, softened by the everyday beauty she was experiencing. She was mindful of their safety, of course, sticking to the well-traveled paths and relying on Alexei's family for guidance, but the fear that had once paralyzed their plans had receded. One afternoon, while the children were napping, Loren sat with Alexei's mother, Shira, in the garden. The air was thick with the scent of jasmine, and the gentle hum of cicadas filled the silence. "You seem happy here," Loren it, Shira said, using the affectionate diminutive. Loren smiled. I am Shira. More than I thought possible. Shira nodded. It is a special place, but it is also challenging. For a family, it requires strength and commitment. We have that, Loren said, her voice firm. We want our children to know this, to be part of this. Shira reached across and took Loren's hand. Then you must find a way. Life is short, Loren it. Do not let fear hold you back from your true home. Her words resonated deeply. Loren had spent so long considering the what-ifs. What if they couldn't find jobs? What if the children struggled to adjust? What if the geopolitical situation worsened? But what if the greatest what-if was not trying at all?